Hey, what's going on YouTube? Would y'all believe that my last video still shot that I see in my phone is me doing this? Oh, like it's the 1980s and I'm like a 7-year-old doing the school pictures. So anyway, what I wanted to talk about also was Eva Longoria, Garia, Eva Longoria. She was on Bill Maher. And I really appreciated her stance on this subject. She was talking about, I don't want to call it modern day slavery because as soon as you say that, people's ears turn out and honestly or turn away and honestly I'm kind of one of those people because like people call modern day slavery. It's like I have to work at McDonald's for $7 an hour. I am basically a slave to McDonald's. You're not a slave to McDonald's. It's an unfair situation, but that's not modern day slavery. You're not getting beaten if you don't make the fries. It's not your entire family that has to work at McDonald's. You're not being forced to breed for the sake of making more people who work at McDonald's. Although to some degree, you could kind of say that that's true. Generations and generations of McDonald's workers. But no shade to that. And clearly it's not shade. It's an unfortunate reality for many. But what she was talking about, basically modern day slavery, as it relates to immigrants and how they work in the farms and stuff like that. And she was explaining, she's like, these people work for basically nothing financially. They're illegal immigrants and they work for basically nothing. They're people who they work for are abusive and literally beat them up and stuff like that. And in addition to having to be out there picking like thousands of pounds of, I don't remember what exactly the product is that they have to pick, but in addition to picking thousands of, what was it, potatoes or beets or corn or I don't know. In addition to having to pick thousands of pounds of that a day, they also, in areas that are not organic, and this is why she says it's good to buy organic, in places that are not organic, the farm workers also, in addition to the food being sprayed with pesticides, they spray the farm workers down with pesticides. So in addition to being beaten and being forced to do this work for basically no money, you're also being sprayed down with pesticides because they want the things to be free of pests. That's what a pesticide is. And in addition to that, I was like, well, when it comes to people comparing things to modern day slavery, it's like, well, there's so much more to that as well, because it's also a group of people who were looked down upon just because they are who they are. But I realize as it relates to like immigrants and often illegal immigrants, that is a class of people who, as a nation collectively, we tend to look down upon. So I don't feel as though she's that far-fetched in saying that it's modern-day slavery. Quick addendum. And one of the points that one of the other women on the panel representing the Muslim side made as Eva Longoria was explaining all of the horrors and horrible things that we are doing to these immigrants, the woman representing the Muslims who had just gotten into a very lengthy debate with Bill Maher about that. And I understand, a lot of people are on both sides of the fence. The point that she made while Eva Longoria was talking about all the horrors that are being done to these immigrants, is she was like, and those people doing those horrible things, are those Muslims? Okay. And I think that was actually a really good point and very timely. Back to your regularly scheduled program. Because it kind of is. These people get beaten. They're forced to work many, 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 many hours a day, pick thousands of pounds of whatever that thing is they have to pick. and they're getting sprayed down with pesticides and all of that stuff. And it's just like, and they work for this. I will say this. I don't know if they are indentured for their entire lives. So that would make it a little bit different from slavery. Some slaves were set free. That's true. So some people wouldn't be enslaved for their entire life, but that definitely would be more the exception than the rule. And I don't know if these people are working here for their entire lives or if that's more the exception than the rule. Anyway, I do feel as though it is a form of modern day slavery, and it is a sad thing, a very sad thing. And I agree with Eva Longoria. I've been buying organic for a while because I've been trying to avoid GMOs in my diet, and I'll make that another video. But genetically modified organisms, they're in like 90% of our food. 90% of our food is GMOs, genetically modified organisms, and they won't do the research to see how that actually affects people's health. They just won't. But we just do it, but it is what it is. So anyway, I've been buying organic for a while, but she said people buy organic to be healthy, but you should also buy organic for that purpose because the people who are working in these fields that are not organic crops, they are forced to be sprayed down in pesticides like a beast of burden. But anyway, I wish we would all just live love. I say that in like every video. I wish we would all just live love. I really do. But, talk to y'all later, YouTube. Peace. Be blessed.